Hi. Once in a while, no, maybe much more often than that, I get a report on social media. And the question to that is this report normal? Now, how do I answer that? So today's topic is going to be what is normal? So normal is something like the Goldilocks story, the Goldilocks and the three bears. Something not too big, not too small, not too hot, not too cold, So that's what we mean by normal. Now remember, even in the Goldilocks story, what was too hot for the little bear was not so hot for the papa bear. So even in your Goldilocks story, you'll realize that everything is not uniformly normal for everyone. So how do we define normal for human beings? Because all of us are different. So we assess normal by doing a study. And we study thousands and thousands and thousands of people, and the parameters we're interested in, we just plot them on a graph. And usually we'll get a graph which looks something like this. And we'll notice that somewhere in that bunched up majority, you'll find a median value. And there's a scatter on this side and that side of it, and that's our range. So we'll have a particular figure which is known as the median, and we'll have a couple of standard deviation this side and that side, which we would accept as being within our normal range. So that's how we get a normal value, and that's how we get our range of normal values. So how do you assess a normal report? Well, the short answer is you shouldn't. That's my job. You get your test done and get the test evaluated by someone who knows what needs to be evaluated. And we never evaluate a report. We evaluate the person. So a test report is always an adjunct to a clinical examination. So we need to put together the person's symptoms, the person's complaints, the previous history which goes behind it, the examination, and then we do these tests and we see whether they correlate with that particular thought process which we have already formulated after talking to and examining the patient. And that's how we assess whether a report is normal or not. So what it means is, even an expert cannot evaluate a report without a context. And the context is the patient. So next time you get a report, don't panic, don't Google it up, don't WhatsApp it to half a dozen people. Take it to your doctor. Let the doctor assess with your complaints, with your history after examination, whether that particular report is what we call actionable. You could have a report which is not normal, but very often you don't need to worry about it. In other words, it's not actionable. For example, if you do an ultrasound and you find there's a fibroid sitting there in your uterus, if you don't have any trouble at all, if it's not giving you any complaints, then there's no action need to be taken. Maybe a repeat ultrasound once in a while to see the rate of growth of the fibroid, but nothing else to be done. But that assessment will depend on the doctor. If you talk to your friend who had a fibroid and got the surgery done, you'll automatically assume that you need to get your surgery done. And very often that's not the case. So essentially, I need a patient to evaluate a report, to assess whether the report is normal, and also, even if the report is not normal, to assess whether I need to do something about it. So what do you do if your friend sends you their report and asks you to ask your doctor to give their opinion? I would suggest send them a link to this capsule. Alright? I'll see you next time. Bye.